Hello everyone, welcome to Orchid's Odysseys, and this will be Who Needs a Quirk When You Have Midoriya by Lily Penwielder on A03. Please make sure to check out the author in the description, and I hope you enjoy! Summary. For the 2A midterms, the hero students are set to fight their teachers once more. The catch? Students wear quirk suppression bracelets. Support items like capture-up weapons, amps, arm grenades, and even sugar packets are prohibited, as the exam is to test their resourcefulness and their ability to fight without using their quirks. Shinsou and Midoriya are set up to go against Aizawa, and proceed to show how fighting quirkless is done. Or, Shinsou has seen hints of it during the sports festival, but he had honestly no clue how resourceful a quirkless Midoriya could be. Shouta Aizawa didn't mean to overhear, but knowing Nedzu and his fondness for subtle manipulations, he's pretty sure the door was left ajar on purpose. I just can't. The voice of Miria rings out. I've spent all my time on this quirk, and I'm nothing without it. There's a silence so heavy, even Nedzu refrains from his usual sips of tea. Miria's voice is laced with pain and sadness, a note of wistful ringing through. I just wish I had thought to train more without it. Shouta Aizawa wasn't meant to overhear, but that's not going to stop him from doing something about it. Man, we've sure been spending a lot of time on quirkless sparring this year. Kaminari flops dramatically onto the couch, an ice pack on his knuckles. I love it, Uraraka shouts, miming a couple of punches. Being able to fight is way more useful against villains than just using my quirk would be. Midoriya nods and points an ever-present pen at Kaminari. Honestly, you're the one who has the most to gain from this kind of training, Kaminari. Not having to rely on long-range attacks would drastically improve your effectiveness. I mean, just think about how much easier it would be to focus on martial arts while using your body as a human taser. It's shocking how simple it would be for you to become faster if you just trained more parkour and gymnastics a bit. Oh, and Uraraka slaps a hand over her friend's mouth as she laughs at a now passed-out Kaminari. Maybe save the advice for when he's awake. Midoriya flushes and returns to scribbling in his notebook, as more of the class trickles in. Ashida pounces on the couch, and by extension onto Kaminari, who awakes with a pained yelp. I can't believe our hero training midterm is tomorrow. I'm going to scream. Hitoshi politely refrains from pointing out that she is already, in fact, screaming. Well, following the theme of this year will probably involve not using our quirks. Maybe 1A versus 1B split? Or shuffle into teams? We had a whole unit on standard weapons. Maybe we'll have to take down robots with those instead of our quirks. No. Hitoshi interjects sternly. We are not spending our free time worrying about this. I don't want to hear any more about midterms. It's quiet. Then, do you think you will have to write poetry for the English exam? Hitoshi throws a cushion at him. For your midterm, you'll be wearing these. Aizawa-sensei holds up what looks to be a thick bracelet in one hand and a modified gym uniform in the other. You've been split into groups of 2, and you'll have to rely on ingenuity and resourcefulness to defeat your opponent. The bracelets are quirk suppressors, and the uniforms are specially padded to prevent injury. Anything else is banned. No capture weapons, amps, arm grenades, sugar packets, or support items of any kind. You will rely on your wits, your brains, and most importantly, your teammate. Murmurs begin to break out, and a simple look from Aizawa is enough to quiet everyone down. There are 3 ways to win. First, you can choose to hide. Both teammates must successfully remain hiding for the duration of the test to evade capture and earn a win. Second, you can choose to try for the exit, where only one of you must cross to win. Third, you can choose to fight knowing you have no weapons or capture tape or any other resources to rely on. Are there any questions? Midoriya's hand flies into the air. How did UA get quirk-suppressing bracelets for each of us? The rarity of a quirk like yours, and by extension the infamous racing bullets, lies in the fact that they will be working, whereas all on our quirks, whereas suppressing crafts, bracelets, and medications need to be coded to the individual quirk. As are they marked enough to be able to tell them apart? I guess size-wise, some of them would be obvious than others, but even so, there would be a margin of error. Is UA going to adequately destroy them after the exam to ensure they don't fall into the hands of villains? Are you... Aizawa-sensei tiredly raises his own hand and pinches the bridge of his nose. Are there any questions about the exam? Midoriya puts his hand down. Hitoshi smirks. Wait a minute, sensei. Those are all valid questions. The people demand answers, Kaminari calls out, and Shouta, you can't stop the truth. Aizawa-sensei stares at the ceiling beseechingly, as more voices clamor until he finally claps his hands for quiet. Answers go to those who pass. Midoriya, Shinsou, you're up first. The two boys scrambled to catch the neatly labeled bags tossed at them. Who are we fighting, sensei? Aizawa grins, and the class takes a reflexive step back. Me. The bus rumbles beneath their feet as Aizawa-sensei drives them to the testing ground. You'll have 10 minutes to plan and hide if you choose. After the test will last for 20 minutes or until one of us has lost. Hitoshi turns to Midoriya, who silences him with a quick motion. The green-haired boy holds out a small notebook and a pen, where he's already written, "We shouldn't try to plan on the bus." Hitoshi concedes to the point with a tilt of his head, and the rest of the ride passes in silence. Okay, so I think we should first establish all our resources. Hitoshi frowns and continues to stretch as Midoriya sits down and begins writing. Resources. Midoriya, the whole point of the exercise is that we don't have it. He trails off as he catches sight of what Midoriya is writing. Skills. Izuku, strength. Shinsou, sneaky. Possible weapons. Shoes, socks, jackets, pen, paper. Airplanes for distraction. Eraserhead. Capture scarf, secret knife. Hitoshi blinks. Secret knife? Midoriya beams, but continues scribbling. Yeah, I'm listing Sensei's support items since there's no rules that says we can't steal his. And Sensei carries a special knife that's designed to cut through his capture weapon in case he ever gets tangled in it. Hitoshi decides not to dwell on how Midoriya knows that, and simply grins evilly. Does he now? Midoriya doesn't respond, so Shinsou brings up the other thing he noticed. Shoes? His green-eyed classmate finally looks up. Oh, sorry, I should have asked if you were okay going barefoot first. It's just, mine are steel-toed, so they're practically weapons already. He rubs the back of his head sheepishly. Hitoshi thinks back to all the times kids stole his shoes in middle school. Running home while being chased shoeless wasn't exactly a walk in the park, but he can't deny that he's gotten pretty good at it. Yeah, barefoot is fine. He pulls off his shoes and socks while Midoriya expertly knots his own laces together. Won't that make throwing them kind of difficult? Midoriya tilts his head questioningly. Throw them? I wouldn't try that. Aizawa-sensei would just dodge, and then we'd be minus a weapon. These are more like improvised nunchucks? Yeah, like we could swing them around to keep him back and hopefully tangle the capture weapon, so he has to draw his knife. Hitoshi stares at his classmate, desperately trying to keep up. So, what do you want with our socks? Midoriya simply grins. Nedzu sips his tea serenely and watches the monitors all around him. Teachers start losing their marbles. What is he doing with those rocks? Midnight yells. Did he just smash a window? He's using a shard to cut up his jacket? Now it's just his sleeves. See, he's putting the vest back on. Was that a pun, Hisashi? I swear. Is he filling his socks with bricks? No, I think it's the rocks from earlier. What are they doing now? Nedzu takes another serene sip. For once, he is thoroughly entertained. Midoriya, the boy grunts questioningly. What are you doing? The boy looks up from where he's slowly bending a street light down towards the ground. With his hands. What the actual heck? Sensei should start looking for us in about 2 minutes, so I'm removing anything he can use to swing easily. The pole touches down, and Midoriya immediately walks to the next one. Is he not even sweating? Holy crap. Oh, I forgot to ask Shinsou. I'm planning to fight, obviously, but do you want to back me up, or would you prefer heading to the exit? Hitoshi tilts his head with a smirk. What do you think? Midoriya simply beams. Class 1A, minus the 2 currently taking the exam, fall silent as a large screen finally turns on. Class 1A, minus the 2 currently taking the exam, fall silent as a large screen finally turns on. I still don't see why we couldn't watch their prep time, Jo says, idly twisting her earjacks. Ida chops his arm through the air and launches into a speech about cheating and copying, but the class immediately tunes him out as they watch the footage. Midoriya stands in the middle of the street, barefoot and sleeveless. Dangling from the fingers of his right hand are his shoes. Shinsou is nowhere to be seen. The cameras panned out towards Aizawa-sensei landing on the roof and sending his capture weapon towards Midoriya. Midoriya, who doesn't move from his spot. Midoriya, who raises his shoe weapon, swinging it wildly, at the moment of impact and hopelessly tangling it in the ends of the capture scarf. That's when Shinsou pops out of an alley, swinging something over his head and lets go. The projectile hits Aizawa in the face. Aizawa, who is unable to dodge because at the moment of Shinsou's throw, Midoriya had braced his feet and tugged the teacher off balance. Aizawa, who had the eye rock sock projectile with disdain, and had been forced to dodge another one as Midoriya gave another yank. With a quick flash of his knife, Aizawa-sensei cuts Midoriya loose. Midoriya, whose grin turns positively evil, as he deftly untangles his shoes and tosses the newly acquired mini capture scarf to Shinsou. The fight had been quick after that. The two had stayed far enough away from each other that Aizawa-sensei had to split his focus between them. Shinsou sent his own capture scarf at Aizawa, who took his attention off Midoriya for 1 second to dodge. But 1 second was all it took. Midoriya swung his shoes over his head and let them fly, where they wrapped around his teacher's legs and sent him crashing to the ground. Hitoshi watches Midoriya wrap the sleeve scraps around Eraserhead's wrists, with an air of detachment. They just beat Eraserhead. Without using quirks. Holy crap. Midoriya would be absolutely terrifying if he wasn't currently beaming up at Hitoshi happily. Should we go for the exit too, Shinsou? Hitoshi stares at Aizawa, giving him a look before shrugging disinterestedly. A thought occurs to him and he grins evilly. Nah. I think Sensei owes us some answers about suppression bracelets. Midoriya's face lights up, and Aizawa lets out a world-weary sigh. And that was Who Needs a Quirk When You Have Midoriya by Lily Penwielder on A03. Thank you guys for listening. I hope you guys enjoyed, and thank you to Lily Penwielder on A03 for letting me read her fanfiction. I hope you guys will come back another time and listen to some more stories of mine that I'm reading. They're not mine. Please check out the creators in the description and comments. I will see you guys later.